chemical transformations when reheated that can pose serious health risks over time. Today, we're exploring 5 commonly consumed foods that nutritionists and medical professionals increasingly warn against reheating. These aren't exotic ingredients or processed junk foods. They're wholesome, nutritious options that many of us consider healthy choices. The problem isn't with the foods themselves, but with what happens to their molecular structure when subjected to repeated heating cycles. Before we dive deeper into this important topic, I'd really appreciate your support. If you find this information valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement helps us continue creating content that can genuinely impact your health and well-being. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest health insights. Now, let's continue with these crucial food safety discoveries. Understanding these risks becomes particularly crucial as we age. Our bodies become less efficient at processing toxins and inflammatory compounds, making us more vulnerable to the cumulative effects of dietary choices that seemed harmless in our younger years. The digestive system, immune function, and cellular repair mechanisms all decline with age, meaning that what might have been a minor dietary misstep in our 20s could contribute to significant health issues in our 50s, 60s, and beyond. Let's begin with leafy greens, specifically spinach, which presents one of the most surprising cases of food transformation through reheating. Spinach enjoys a stellar reputation as a superfood, and rightfully so. This verdant vegetable delivers an impressive array of nutrients, including vitamins A, C, and K, along with iron, folate, and powerful antioxidants. It's versatile enough to enhance smoothies, salads, pasta dishes, and countless other preparations. However, spinach contains naturally occurring compounds called nitrates. In their original form, these nitrates are actually beneficial to human health. They support cardiovascular function by promoting healthy blood flow and can even enhance athletic performance. The trouble begins when spinach is cooked, stored, and then reheated, particularly using high-temperature methods like microwaving. During this process, the beneficial nitrates undergo a chemical transformation. They convert first into nitrites and then potentially into nitrosamine, compounds that medical researchers have extensively studied for their carcinogenic properties. The World Health Organization and various cancer research institutes have documented links between nitrosamine exposure and increased risks of gastrointestinal cancers, including stomach and colorectal cancers. The transformation from healthy nitrates to potentially harmful numbness is invisible and odorless when spinach-containing dishes are stored at room temperature for extended periods or when they're reheated multiple times. The microwave in particular can create hot spots that accelerate this transformation. Consider a typical scenario. You prepare a large batch of spinach lasagna on Sunday, intending to enjoy portions throughout the week. Each time you reheat a serving, you're potentially increasing the nitrosamine content. Over months and years of this pattern, these compounds can accumulate in your system, contributing to chronic inflammation and cellular damage that may not manifest symptoms until much later. Recent research has also suggested connections between nitrosamine exposure and neurological health. Some studies indicate that these compounds may contribute to cognitive decline and could play a role in neurodegenerative diseases. For older adults whose brains are already more vulnerable to oxidative stress and inflammation, this represents a particularly concerning risk. The solution isn't to eliminate spinach from your diet. That would be counterproductive given its numerous health benefits. Instead, focus on consuming spinach fresh or in recently cooked preparations. If you must store spinach-containing dishes, refrigerate them promptly and consume them within a day or two. When reheating is necessary, use gentle, low-temperature methods and avoid multiple reheating cycles. Moving on to our second food of concern, potatoes. These starchy vegetables are beloved worldwide for their versatility, affordability, and satisfying nature. From mashed potatoes to roasted varieties, from baked potatoes to potato salads, this humble tuber appears in countless forms across global cuisines. However, the way we handle potatoes after cooking can create unexpected health risks. When potatoes are first cooked, their starches break down into easily digestible forms. As they cool, particularly if left at room temperature for extended periods, these starches undergo a process called retrogradation, transforming into resistant starch. While resistant starch can offer some health benefits, including supporting gut health and helping regulate blood sugar, problems arise when improperly stored potatoes are reheated. The primary concern with reheated potatoes involves bacterial contamination, specifically Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This risk is particularly high when potatoes are cooked, wrapped in foil, which creates an oxygen-poor environment, and allowed to cool slowly before storage. These conditions create an ideal breeding ground for C. botulinum, which thrives in low-oxygen starchy environments. Even when potatoes don't show visible signs of spoilage, they can harbor bacteria that produce neurotoxins. These toxins are odorless, tasteless, and invisible, but they can cause serious illness. Symptoms can range from digestive upset and nausea to more severe neurological complications in extreme cases. For older adults, this risk takes on added significance. Aging naturally brings a decline in immune function, making the body less capable of fighting off bacterial toxins. Additionally, emerging research on the gut-brain axis reveals how digestive health directly impacts cognitive function. Chronic inflammation in the gut caused by harmful bacteria or toxins has been linked to increased risks of neurodegenerative diseases. Imagine this common scenario. You bake a batch of potatoes for dinner, wrap the extras in foil, and store them in the refrigerator. Several days later, you reheat them in the microwave for a quick side dish. While this seems convenient and harmless, you may be introducing low levels of bacterial toxins into your system. With repeated exposure over time, these toxins can accumulate and potentially contribute to systemic inflammation. To enjoy potatoes safely, cook only what you'll consume fresh when possible. If you must store leftovers, cool them quickly and store them in airtight containers rather than foil. When reheating, use methods that ensure even heating throughout, such as stovetop or oven reheating. Avoid reheating potatoes multiple times and discard any leftovers that have been stored for more than a few days or show any signs of spoilage. Our third food of concern brings us to eggs, a breakfast staple and versatile protein source found in kitchens worldwide. Eggs are nutritionally dense, providing high-quality protein, essential amino acids, and important nutrients like choline, which supports brain health. They're affordable, versatile, and generally considered a healthy choice for people of all ages. However, reheating previously cooked eggs, particularly using high-temperature methods like microwaving, can create subtle but significant health risks. When eggs are initially cooked, their proteins undergo denaturation, a natural process where proteins unfold and reconfigure into more digestible forms. This is beneficial and necessary for proper digestion. The problems begin when already cooked eggs are reheated. This additional heating triggers further chemical changes that can compromise both the safety and nutritional value of the eggs. Two primary concerns emerge: the breakdown of sulfur compounds and the oxidation of cholesterol. Sulfur compounds naturally present in eggs can degrade during reheating, creating that characteristic rubbery texture and unpleasant sulfurous odor many people associate with reheated eggs. More concerning from a health perspective is the oxidation of cholesterol in egg yolks. When subjected to high temperatures during reheating, cholesterol can oxidize into compounds called oxarols. Research published in lipid research journals has linked oxarols to increased inflammation and higher risks of cardiovascular disease. Chronic inflammation, in turn, has been associated with cognitive decline, memory impairment, and increased risk of neurodegenerative conditions like dementia. This connection becomes particularly relevant for older adults whose bodies process fats less efficiently and whose cardiovascular and neurological systems are more vulnerable to inflammatory damage. Consider this example. You hard-boil a dozen eggs on Sunday to eat throughout the week as quick protein snacks. On Wednesday, you microwave one to warm it up before eating. While this seems like a healthy choice, the egg's proteins have become tougher and less digestible, and its cholesterol may have oxidized, introducing inflammatory compounds into your system. To minimize these risks, Prioritize consuming eggs fresh or shortly after cooking. If you batch cook eggs for convenience, consider enjoying them cold in salads or sandwiches rather than reheating them. If reheating is necessary, use gentle, even heat methods like low-temperature stovetop warming and avoid multiple reheating cycles. Our fourth food of concern is chicken, a lean protein that's become a cornerstone of healthy eating plans worldwide. Chicken is versatile, relatively affordable, and provides high-quality protein with lower saturated fat content compared to red meats. Many health-conscious individuals cook chicken in bulk, storing portions for quick meals throughout the week. However, reheating chicken, particularly using uneven heating methods like microwaving, can alter its composition in ways that may contribute to inflammation and digestive issues. When chicken is first cooked, heat transforms its protein structure, making it more digestible. The proteins denature and break down into forms that your digestive system can process efficiently. When you reheat that same chicken, especially if the heating is uneven or the temperature is excessively tougher, more rigid, and less bioavailable, meaning your body must work harder to break them down and extract nutrients. For younger individuals with robust digestive systems, this change might go unnoticed. However, as we age, our production of digestive enzymes and stomach acid naturally declines, making it more challenging to process foods that have undergone multiple heating cycles. You might experience bloating, discomfort, or fatigue after eating reheated chicken without connecting these symptoms to the reheating process. Beyond digestive concerns, reheating proteins like chicken can lead to the formation of compounds that trigger low-grade systemic inflammation. These compounds, including advanced glycation end products, AGEs, form when proteins and fats are exposed to high heat multiple times. AGEs are particularly problematic because they contribute to chronic inflammation, which medical research now recognizes as a root cause of numerous age-related diseases. Chronic inflammation doesn't just manifest as obvious symptoms like joint or swelling. It acts as a silent driver of serious conditions including heart disease, insulin resistance, and neurodegenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's disease and dementia. The cumulative effect of regularly consuming foods that promote